Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a beautiful princess named Snow White. She was the fairest of them all, with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony. Snow White's stepmother, the queen, was envious of her beauty and would often consult her magic mirror, asking who was the fairest of them all. One day, the mirror replied that Snow White was the fairest, and the queen became furious. She ordered a huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. The huntsman could not bring himself to do it and instead warned Snow White to flee into the forest and never return. Snow White wandered through the forest, feeling scared and alone, until she stumbled upon a small cottage. The cottage belonged to 7 dwarfs who worked in the nearby mines. Snow White was grateful for their kindness and offered to clean and cook for them in exchange for shelter. Meanwhile, the queen found out that Snow White was still alive and decided to take matters into her own hands. She disguised herself as an old woman and visited Snow White at the cottage. She offered Snow White a poisoned apple, which would put her into a deep sleep, from which she could only be awakened by true love's kiss. Snow White fell for the queen's trick and took a bite of the apple. She fell into a deep sleep, and the dwarfs, who had been out working, returned to find her unconscious. They recognized the queen's treachery and chased after her, but it was too late. The dwarfs placed Snow White in a glass coffin and mourned for her. One day, a handsome prince rode by and saw Snow White in her glass coffin. He fell in love with her and kissed her, breaking the spell. Snow White awakened from her deep sleep, and the prince asked for her hand in marriage. She happily accepted, and they were married in a grand ceremony, with the dwarfs and all the kingdom's inhabitants in attendance. And so, Snow White lived happily ever after, surrounded by her loving prince and the 7 dwarfs who had become her dearest friends. We hope you enjoyed this classic fairy tale and remember to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. Thanks for watching.